The three things Job teaches us. It is true that Job is a fascinating book that deserves its place in the biblical canon. However, Bible books weren't just written to be entertaining. They were also written to teach us valuable lessons. As it was said in 1 Corinthians, "Now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come." 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 11. Therefore, today we're going to be looking at the three things that we can learn from the story of Job. 1. The first thing we should learn from Job is that God has the complete right to take away his blessings. Some people think that God has no right to take what he has gifted because, frankly, they don't think it's a gift. They think that they are entitled to it because they are righteous. However, righteous people in the Bible never thought so. When Abraham thought he was going to lose his son in Genesis chapter 22 verses 1 to 2, he didn't rebel. Isaac was a gift, not a right. He knew the promise God made to him, and he knew that if God still wanted that to stand, he would simply provide another son. Job had known such things too, according to this verse. "Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job chapter 1 verse 21. We can also look at 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 7, Psalms chapter 75 verse 7, Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7, and Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 39. 2. Another thing we learn from that story is that our ends are always better than our beginnings. After all, as Bildad said, "Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase." Job chapter 8 verse 7. For example, David was a shepherd boy in 1 Samuel chapter 16, but he became a king in 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 5. Also, according to Job chapter 42 verses 10 to 17, Job was gifted twice as much as he owned before and 140 extra years to enjoy it by God, the same person who allowed it to be taken away. Jesus Christ said that us modern Christians will experience the same thing, but it's not physical, even though it is described as such in some Bible verses, like Mark chapter 10 verses 28 to 30 and Matthew chapter 19 verse 29. We shouldn't be confused by these verses. These are just metaphors to describe the glory that comes with righteousness. As it was said in Haggai, "The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts." Haggai chapter 2 verse 9. That's more important than houses and children anyway. 3. One more thing we can learn from this story is that the future of righteousness will be great. Righteousness, or God's will, has been persecuted ever since Satan sold evil to Adam and Eve and took over humanity, in Genesis chapter 3 verses 1 to 6. Ever since then, anytime people wanted to bring the world back to righteousness, persecution always followed. As it was said by St. Paul, "Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution." 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 12. As the psalmist said, "Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from bloody men. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Lord." Psalms chapter 59 verses 2 to 3. We can also look at Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 33 to see how the Israelites suffered such bondage. However, God said that he would appoint a day, which is now, when righteousness will be restored to its former position, ruling the world without persecution. As it was said in Isaiah, "The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious." Isaiah chapter 60 verse 13. As it was said in Jeremiah, "Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord. Neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 10. We can also look at Psalms chapter 102, verses 13 to 18, Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1, and chapter 13, verse 12. People who are righteous will be honored and respected. As it was said in Daniel, "And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever." Daniel chapter 12, verse 3. We can also look at Matthew chapter 13, verse 43. That is where I'm going to stop with this video on the 3 things Job teaches us. My advice is, we should understand the story of Job and the lessons we can learn from it. God was proud with Job and his behavior, and that's why God brought him to an even better condition. When God is proud of us for our humility, faith, and patience, He can do good things for us. As it was said in Proverbs, "By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life." Proverbs chapter 22, verse 4. I've mentioned the fact that Job teaches us that God has the complete right to take away his blessings, our ends are always better than our beginnings, and the future of righteousness will be great. But if you want even more information on this story, you can look at our sermon, The Lessons of Job, at our channel, It Pays to Fear God. Thank you for listening! Don't forget to like and subscribe.